Hello everyone, welcome to your mid-October 2016 Oracle reading. I am going to start out today inside with the cards, and then actually I'm going to do a full spread but try and keep it short with the 5 cards I normally draw plus the 1 Gillian Kemp Tree Magic card, and then I'm going to go outside and throw a couple of pieces of lettuce for both groups of chickens to just get some live messages. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and draw some cards. Few things. There was a kind of a incident with the chickens. Nobody was hurt or anything, but a major, gigantic python came in, or tried to come in, and actually didn't even get caught on the fence. It got caught on fencing outside that was cut off and on the ground, and happened to strangle itself and die before it came in. So it was very interesting. It was very telling of me. It was like an exact message for me, but it also even if I see how it applies to my life, I know it applies to all of you because we're all going through these times together, and these are collective energies we're dealing with. But the message in that was that something's going to try to cause devastation or make a killing somehow, and it's not gonna pan through. They're gonna actually commit suicide. It kind of takes care of itself. But there's some type of message or lesson or something that happens where we can watch it and we're safe, but it's right in front of us. And it is scary too, to see this major snake. Even if it was dead, I was so scared to touch it and deal with it. It was very just intimidating no matter what, and I see how it exactly applied to my life at this time. Couldn't have been more direct of a message. But anyway, just to let you guys know, whatever is going on and looks threatening or looks like a scare, you're safe. You see everything in time, and everything pans out for the best. Okay, so these are our moving lines here. And then what is healing, and our overall message card. Okay, so starting out, we ground the reading with number 5, the holly tree, permanence, and it says, a great awakening through enlightenment. Evil is warded off by your devotion to good. Number 5. And number 5 is about breakdown and breakthrough. Everything falls apart to get reconstructed. This has nothing to do with the chicken oracle, but I think about, the Great Barrier Reef just died. This is probably the biggest death we've had. The king of Thailand just died in my country. And you'll see me when I do the show today. I'm wearing dark colors. We have to wear dark colors or all light colors right now. Either all black or all white. So there's major transitions. We're about to head into these elections. Basically everything's meant to break down, and we need to make a breakthrough. And there's going to be some loss. There's going to be some hard times. There's going to be some struggle, but that's our calling, to start getting everything together and creating something that works in our lives in a new world. So we have to keep the hope and the faith up. What we are doing now, what comes out of this, is permanence. If it was, I don't know, just real quick, my story. Something happened. I was setting up a friend with some other people that I had met who seemed really great, and they kind of had the whole town fooled, and they ended up being really bad people, and we started finding out everything. And then my friend he was going to start up a bar. He needed some help. He had the bar, and then he lost the bar because the land sold, and then he could get more land and do something else. So last minute, I ended up doing it with him because it wasn't what I planned to do. But now I see he's my good friend, and this works. And it's like something totally breaks down in front of you, and you're safe. Everything's okay. And then something totally new has to happen to save the situation. So right now, we're facing many, many things like this. And I see that, it's happening in Thailand, obviously. And also in this world with the Great Barrier Reef dying. That is like huge. Oh, and we passed the tipping point for carbon emissions, like serious stuff, you guys. So we need to all start educating ourselves and start looking at new ways to do things. Find out information, just find new ways to create permanence. And that's what this card is, the Holly Tree Permanence. And this is about family. This is about tradition. This is about, has a little robin in the tree, which is new beginnings. It's springtime. And we have a lot of problems here. Evil is warded off by the devotion to good. And we really need to set our sights high and, stick together even, where we are not fighting stupid stuff or, not judging or not wasting time on stuff that is not so important right now. And really just doing what we need to do for making this world a better place. And looking at these moving lines here, these are our steps in time here. And we have, again, the five of Earth. This is catastrophe. This is breakdown. This is Pleiadia. Pleiadia represents the Pleiadians that keep coming to. They're the highest, most advanced alien race, supposedly. This is the mythology of it. And they keep inhabiting places and getting ripped apart by the lower races. And catastrophe keeps happening. But then they find a new way to rebuild, and they find a new way to make it happen. And they, still prevail as the highest intelligence. And they have the resource, they have the knowledge, and they're trying to find that way, So don't be thrown off by the breakdown. It's just learning, and then we find our way for that breakthrough finally. Where the other mythology with the Pleiadians is that they're too sensitive to exist on this planet now, and this is one of the myths. I've heard different ones, but if they are so sentient and intelligent and lighthearted, and there are. Even with the myth that they're too sensitive, there are some that are here, like, for example, maybe Jesus was a Pleiadian, or, the high sensitive, intelligent people perhaps are from the Pleiades. But it's very, very hard for them. So there's a lot of breakdown and breakthrough, but they keep finding a way to make it work. So we have this right away, this kind of, again, breakdown in the physical world, but we have the resources, we have the intelligence, and we're finding a way. We have Chickpea, which is about kind of shocks and surprises. Chickpea is about irony, like you expect it to go one way and then it goes another because perhaps you weren't understanding the magnitude of the factors in the equation. You weren't realizing how, what seemed small was actually huge, and you didn't know it. You saw a little bit, or maybe you didn't even see it at all. Maybe there was a factor missing that it was totally hidden from your sight. But everything you know to be true is still true. It's just to really understand and work a situation, to really be able to work an equation, you need to know all the factors and the degrees of those factors. And then once you have all the information, you can work it. But if you don't have all that information, there's where the irony comes in. Your result comes out different than you expect. So that's the Chickpea. And then we end on Yiki, which is metal that cuts, but it also is what we value. So this is about really kind of paring away what doesn't work for us, whatever is getting in our way, whatever's taking our time, whatever's taking our energy, really getting down to the essential things that we need to be doing or putting our energy into. And yeah, it's about keeping with what is essential, but at the same time removing and anything that is taking away from that essence. Just like, with a garden. Actually, this just happened with my garden. The vines, I thought, they look so beautiful, the vines on everything. They started ripping things apart. They started killing trees. I didn't realize this. You have to cut the vines. Because in U.S., we think it's beautiful to have vines, but they grow slow. But here, the vines will kill, so I didn't know that. But you gotta cut away what you don't need to really keep what you value. I need my fence up to protect my chickens. I can't have the vines taking it down, so I have to cut the vines so that I can have my fence. So it's just about seeing what is taking away from the essential things that we need, or the essential things that that we have to put our attention and time into. So anyway, these are our moving lines. So we have breakdown, just kind of shock or something we didn't see or we didn't understand fully, and then really making those cuts, breaking those ties, getting rid of anything that is not serving us, so that we can really do what's important now. We can create our permanence. We don't need to we really need to create the permanence with the essential things. And that's the thing, is if it's essential, it is permanent. Essence is eternal. So we need to get down to the essence here and get to create something that's lasting, something that's permanent, and find stability and continuity in our world. So then what is getting better? We have the 6 of diamonds, and this is Mandarina, and she represents communication, and to be able to bridge two worlds together, and really communication that works, and I mean, just really saying what you need to say. And sometimes you don't need to see those results, that's again with the surprise, shock, chickpea, what you don't see. But it doesn't matter. You can say things and people don't have to accept them right away, but they hear them, and as much as they resist them, they still have heard them. You have still planted those seeds, and it's very important that we talk and communicate from our hearts, from a place of truth, and that truth is always healing. It's always helpful. It is always serving the greatest good. So if we can communicate, maybe even communication comes to us, but there is this this understanding, or this creation of bonded reality, of bonded truth. It's almost like, what is eternity? It's truth. And when we all speak truth and we bond together in a state of truth, on true things and through true relations, that's when things become solidified. That's when they become permanent. So we have this bridging of worlds, and communicating from a place of truth, and really seeing things and hearing things about the nature of the world around us, and about the nature of people and relationships. And then from these communications we can build that solid foundation and a place of permanence. So this is improving. And then our overall message card here is Mundi in training, and this is 3 of diamonds. So this has to do with movement forward in our success, in our skills, in our trades, in what we're here to do, in our work, our service, and our career. This is moving forward and being recognized for our skills and our talents. This is the artsy crafts person who is acknowledged for their work, and they are, able to develop and move up in their life, in their work, and really even build a strong foundation for themselves, and provide for people in a solid way, with a really positive, powerful craft or service or line of work that or even position. It could be a position of leadership of some sort, or a position of social status of some sort. Like maybe even realizing, moving forward in your sisterhood or your motherhood or brotherhood, or something like that too. It could be just moving forward in any aspect of our lives where we are honored for our position. We are honored for our talent, our being in this way, and so we are able to move forward and advance, and also be recognized and be acknowledged for what we can provide and what we can do. So again, we have the Holly Tree Permanence, number 5, and it says, a great awakening through enlightenment. Evil is warded off by your devotion to good. And I'm going to go out and we'll just do some live lettuce readings, and we'll get a few extra messages from the chickens. So 1 minute.
I just wanted to do this now because I see Holly Patsy's out and she's been nesting, so I wanted her to get some lettuce. So do the chicken oracle now, and they're still cutting, but actually just stopped right as I set the camera up, so that's good. And Halapati is she represents dove and peace and conflict resolution. So it's good. Here she comes now. I just want to, it's again, give the offering. Give the offering to the spirit. So she represents peace and conflict resolution. So let's feed her while she's out from her nesting. Okay. And we'll do the oracle. Let's see, it's bounced from this one. She's been his baby about understanding, and she just never sells. I guess she's my chicken. Things not going as expected, but being for the best. And actually, the same story with her mom. And it's about understanding the way things go, and then finding the reason later. And really appreciating what maybe you saw differently, and letting the flow of life take you where you need to go, and realizing later that was how it was meant to go. And then actually it bounced from her to Manila. So Manila has to do with receiving information, receiving also documents. It could be official papers of some sort, some official business that you receive. So you're receiving something important, and it can also be like finished products of school. It could be like final things that just really have an intellectual or financial basis. Official things. And then the last one who got it was Little Red Amore, and she has to do with survival, and also that we do things that we would have never done if we were not in a state of survival. So because of some decision to get our energy up, like something that happens that makes us make some decisions, or makes us take a course that we would never taken if we didn't have circumstances just push us in that direction. But because circumstances push us in that direction, we get something that we would have never in a million years had. And many things come out of that. For example, so Little Red loves because you love yourself, because you love life, and because you need to do what you need to do. You make your decisions, and I got her for the sake of my one chicken when the one that looked like her died, and I got her, and then she led to a whole other flock. So because I got her, and I couldn't get rid of it, and actually it didn't work. The reason I got her kind of failed too, but it didn't matter. She started everything for my whole chicken flock. So everything in my life that's chicken is because of this chicken, because I couldn't give her away because she loved me so much, and that's how life goes. And then another example, if you have life trauma or something happens and you go on trips or vacations and then something really important comes out of that, there's many examples, many things in life you do because you have to do something, and you just have to do something about the circumstances of your life, and you do what you need to do, and then everything comes from it. From there on, your whole life unfolds. So it has to do with, also survival, kundalini, what you have to do, but then from that, the love that makes everything happen. And when you follow your heart and you do what you need to do, amazing things happen. So, okay, that's the reading on this side. I'll do one more down there. Okay, come on, you guys. So it went from Amma to Silk to Nachi. It was interesting. It was like, okay, Amma tried to get it, or she just didn't want it, then Silk didn't want it, and then it went to Nachi. Nachi ate it. I don't know. Well, I do know. Just a big message in that. It's like the mother figure who wants to provide, who wants to do everything, has some hesitation. She's not sure, there's something off, there's some hesitation. Then it goes to Silk, which is about the precious things coming out of transformation, and she tried to get it, and she went for it a couple times, but then she decided she didn't want it either. And so there's just some resistance to going into something and taking care. There's some resistance to the things that come out of the transformation process. It's also some resistance to precious things or versatile things. So there's just some resistance there. But then who ended up getting it? Then Nachi took it. So Nachi took it. Nachi has to do with, okay, what you lived by before, the way you lived before, you've outgrown it. So you have to figure out something new. There's a way you don't fit in your structure anymore. You have to change direction and go in a new direction. So maybe get out of your comfort zone, really. That's the Fibonacci series. It's the structure of life. It's the path of evolution. It's how things grow. Growing is not always comfortable, but we have to do it. And then, then when we grow into ourselves, and then everything ends up being okay. But we just have to not be afraid of some growing pains, and we need to grow and find a new direction and a new situation. So then, in the end, we had the eagle chicken again from the finish. So it's what was her name again? We did this last week. Anyway, she represents soaring high and kind of ascending to a new level, and also getting outside of the box again. So Nachi and her, actually I have a little bit similar message, but there is an important message of education with the eagle, and because her name is Eagle in the Finnish, and they have the top education system totally outside of the box. Nothing like what we've seen before, but it works better. And it also has to do with putting in quality, not quantity. So really putting your 100% in, having the quality of what you need, and then also not judging, not classifying, really being open and seeing everything and working with everything. Not judging, but really accepting everything, really embracing everything and working with everything. We can't just cut things off if we're, I don't know about that, cut it off. No, okay, we have to figure out a way to work with this. We can't just cut it off. We need to find a way to work with this. You know, it's about not shutting down in the face of challenge, but really rising to meet that challenge. And I say that because in the education system they don't separate the different grades, or no, they separate grades. They don't separate different levels. They don't say you're more intelligent, you're less intelligent. They don't test. They don't care. They just want to see who you are, what you need, and they give you their all to make sure that you can get what you need. So they really meet everybody individually and provide for those needs without judgment, but just really, okay, this is where you really excel. Then we support you in that, you know, and not trying to put everything into, you know, an assembly line to get a finished product, but rather allowing everything to be as it is, and then, you know, just taking care of each individual thing and not cutting things out, you know. I mean, I think of so many stupid debates like, should drugs be legal or not, you know? Well, we have a drug problem, major drug problem on this planet. Drugs, every country, all sorts of drugs. We need to do something about it, not just make it illegal and shut it under the rug and throw people in jail, but really address the problem, you know? Okay, people are going to use drugs, they're going to be there. How do we work with this? You know, so it's about finding ways to work with problems, not just ignoring the problems, not just, you know, closing our eyes and turning to focus on something else, but really accepting everything that is and really looking at all the different situations. How do we really make this better? What will work? What will work? You know, I mean, how do we work with this so that we get the best out of this, that we make it the best for these people and all the people around them? So, so that's the message with the eagle, is soaring high, seeing everything, looking at everything, and really being able to hone into the detail, you know, really seeing in detail, and being able to get out of that box and rise above normal thinking to relate to the essence, and that's what we had in the first part of the reading. You know, find the permanence, find the essence. We can't cut things out of their essence. We have to acknowledge the essence of things and then work with them. So it's not about, you know, so much having opinions, but really finding the best way to work with things. So again, when you look at the education system, they embrace all the students. They don't separate them. They don't say, you're a better student, you're not as good of a student. They say, you guys are different students. And I'll work with you, and I'll work with you, and I'll work with you both, and I will give you both my attention equally. But I'm going to do it differently because you guys have different things you're working on. So, you know, it's about really embracing everything and not just saying, oh, this kid's a problem child, get him out of the room. Oh, this kid's not very smart, get him out of the room. They don't think like that. They have an amazing education system with huge success rates. Nobody drops out. Everyone goes on to education. Everybody really succeeds in life, no matter what it is that they do. but they are completely embraced and taken care of, and so that they learn how to learn, so that they learn how to continue to educate themselves and just learn how to live in the best way possible. That's what they teach these kids. So really positive, and that's what we got to do. We got to really look at everything and not just oh, that situation's too hard. We can't look at it. No, we got to look at it. But how do we make the best of it? So anyway, outside of the box. Again, maybe there's some hesitation and uncomfortable situation with transformation, but again, we ended up having this transformation and this change in direction. So, anyway, I hope everybody got what they needed out of this today. I think this is a long video now. So I'm going to leave you off here, and I'll see you again next month. Swadika, and take care, everyone.